Hi everyone, I'm Julien, nurse practitioner and medical director here at 3rd Avenue Spa. We're located in Ottawa, Canada. Today I'm covering the complicated nasolabial fold that runs all the way around the oral commissure and ends down here. Providing filler into the upper cheeks may help with the slight overlapping here, but isn't quite enough to address all this. So, how are we going to address it? I'm going to give you my techniques. We're going to keep it safe and natural looking in order to soften this region. Stay tuned, it's going to be exciting. So before I get ahead of myself, I don't think this video is going to be exciting, but I'll try and make it as interesting as possible. In order to do that, I'll have to introduce you to my lovely assistant, Sarah. Say hello, Sarah, and what do we see? Sarah has some nasolabial folds that go way beyond the oral commissure and extend down to the marionette zone. Also, take a look here. She also has a couple of accordion lines that happen when she smiles. We can address this in the same at the same time with the techniques that I'll show you. So first off, what I want you to do is take a look at their medial and lateral cheeks. If they need some restoration because they're flat or hollowed out, yes, absolutely start that. You're not going to get very far unless you do so. Now this is the first reason why people get nasolabial folds. The other reason is because this piriform fossa, this region here, this is actually a hollow zone. The nose, the bone of the nose actually extends only to here. The rest of this is cartilage. So if you ever look at a skull, this is going to be a hollowed area. And as we mature, that hollowed area actually expands. It gets bigger and it protrudes in. So the protrusion in and the expansion of the base platform here is the other reason why we end up getting these nasolabial folds, in particular in this corner here. So we have to restore that. So the first technique I use is with a needle. And basically what I'm going to do is insert a bolus right directly into the piriform fossa. Why would I do that if I know that there's a facial artery running there? Isn't that dangerous? Well, as long as you understand the depth of the artery, then it's safe. Anything medial of this iris, so anything over here, this artery becomes superficial. It's right underneath the skin basically. So as long as I'm staying deep down to the bone, it ensures my safety. The other way to help that is by pulling up on the nose. That's going to move the skin up, tenting it even more, providing more distance from the artery from my needle base. And at the same time, it provides a little bit of a cavity to help me fill up that space. So what I'll do is come from the side, pull up on the nose, inject deeply into the piriform fossa, and take a look at the angle. To help assist me in ensuring safety, my needle is facing here. I always aim for the opposite oral commissure. And this is going to make sure that whenever my needle comes down, I'm probably going to be somewhere around here. And that's going to ensure my safety, keep me even further away from this facial artery. So I inject 0.2 to 0.4 basically, depending on the skin type and how deep of a nasolabial fold there is. Take it out, put some pressure immediately, and then I'm good to go. So the second technique that I'm going to use is with a cannula. It's a little safer and the results are pretty similar. So what you can do is go 1.5 to 1 centimeters lateral of the oral commissure here, and I'll make my entry point. I'll slide deeper down to the bone, and I'll slide it gently all the way up to the piriform fossa. I'm still staying deep, and I'll provide a bolus of 0.2 to 0.4 cc's right here, and I'll take it back out. Now the filler I want there is going to have enough robustness, so enough cohesiveness in order to give it enough lift. So I use something that's called Stellage XXL, but honestly, any hyaluronic acid filler that has a lot of lifting capacity and is stiff is probably your best bet. So to recap, what we've done is we've restored the deep fat pads to the medial and lateral SUFs. Then we've also provided a bolus to the piriform fossa, and now we've softened the upper half of the nasolabial fold. So basically from here up. What about the rest of it? Well, in order to correct that, and also to correct any accordion lines, if you do notice when they're smiling, you get these additional lines on the side, this is going to address that at the same time. It's a nice little technique. What I do is I take my cannula, I go lateral of the oral commissure, basically the exact same insertion point as if I were to use a cannula to provide a bolus down to the piriform fossa. I go in and I fan a product to the upper and lower regions, addressing the rest of these nasolabial folds. So a few things for you guys to remember. First is your cohesivity or the thickness of your filler. If someone has thin skin, use a medium base cohesivity. And if someone comes in with thick skin, use a medium to medium thick, and they'll do just as well with that. Now, the cannula that I use is 25 gauges or larger. That's going to ensure that you're not cannulating into the artery, because the depth of this cannulation technique, of this fanning technique, is going to be superficial. So remember, you're doing a 4-for-1 treatment with this technique. Yes, you're initially treating the nasolabial folds, but you're also treating any of the accordion lines that are just lateral to it. The other thing is you're restoring some volume in the philtrum here that could have been lost, and at the same time you're restoring some lost volume in the marionette zone, and that's going to kick up that lateral corner of the mouth. It looks completely natural, it's soft, it smooths out that nasolabial fold nicely, and clients love it. If you haven't tried this technique yet, I highly recommend it. You'll love it. So as a reminder, if you haven't already done so, check me out on Instagram and Facebook. That's where I usually keep most of my work anyways. Until next time, exercise daily, take care of each other, and please be nice to absolutely everyone during these crazy times. I really appreciate you guys being here. Take care.